Welcome, my dear viewer, to Dr. Paul Kibicho YouTube channel. And as usual, today I want us to discuss a few things, or maybe one item that will help people understand what they need to do in life in order for them to succeed. And I have been telling people, and I'll repeat it to all of you watching me, either on my Facebook Live or my YouTube channel, that if you want to become a great speaker, if you want to become an intellectual of international repute, if you want to become a resourceful person in life, there are things that you must do. And I want us to discuss now what are those things that you should do. Today, I've spent my day reading this book. It is called Change is Possible. Discover the 6 Essentials of Personal Change by Alfred Arita. I have learned a lot about change today. Then, after that, that was not enough. I went ahead today and I took a bit of time to read this book. Some of you people don't like reading, and I can tell you that one with a lot of confidence. Overcoming poverty. What is poverty? Why are some of us people very poor that we can't even afford good life? We can't eat good food. Why? We can't eat good food. Others can't even enjoy life. Others, we are struggling. Why? Then I took a bit of time also to read this book, that your strategy needs a strategy. Your strategy needs a strategy. Who is the author of this book? Or how to choose and execute the right approach. This book is written by Professor Martin Leaves, Nat Hanes, and Janaya Sinha. These are the kind of books that I read. And finally now, because there are so many of them, and because you are aware that I'm a lawyer, I also take a bit of time to read about this. This book is called The Law of Succession by W.M. Musio, The Law of Succession, because being a lawyer, you need to be a little bit conversant with a few things. But why? I also read this book. I spent a lot of time reading, sometimes in my office. And you can see the heading of this book, Your Character, Your Success. Your character, your success. Note that, your character, your success. Some of us, we are people without character. But allow me now to discuss a few things before, because I always make sure that I share with you a few things before I go home. And today, I want us to discuss something called discipline. Something called discipline. Discipline. And we must accept a few things that I'll share with you. Some of them will touch you, either positively or negatively. It all depends on which angle you want to look at it. And I'll first of all start by telling you that anybody who has ever succeeded in life, discipline is part of his recipe. No one succeeded in this world of God without discipline. No one. No one. And again, to succeed, you must have the right associations. You must be in the right arena. You must be in the right mind frame. You must have focus. You must be determined. You must know what it is that you want. You must have objectives. You must have what we call timelines. If you miss any one of those few things I've mentioned, then you are cheating yourself during either broad daylight or at night. I'm telling you, some of you people watching me right now, some of you said, I'm going to do my master's degree. All what you have done for the last 5 years is to say and to utter those words. But you have not been able to activate the button that takes you to that particular destination. And I have told you on a number of occasions that you are basically a product of your own thoughts. And you should never be defined. You should never let people define who you are. As a matter of fact, it is you who harbors the potential. And I have told you in the past that if somebody told you that you have a lot of potential, he's just politely insulting you. He's just politely insulting you, because unused energy is what we call potential. Used energy is what you call kinetic energy. Some of you people have been saying, I want to marry. You've never married. You just say, because saying is very easy. But now actualizing what we say becomes the most difficult things in our lives, the most difficult thing in our lives. I talked about establishing a company by the name Panorama Consulting Company, where I'm now currently wishing people, if I may show you here, I'm wishing all my customers Merry Christmas. These are printed cards and they're not cheap. They're very expensive. But I'm not cheap either. I'm not cheap either. So, Bwana Joseph Kariuki, wherever you are, you need to pay. There's a price to be paid. In terms of discipline, there's a price to be paid. Unfortunately, just like I've told you, it's very easy for all of you watching me even now, including those who watch this video thereafter, to say, I want to succeed. The only place where success is easily defined is in the dictionary. It is only in the Oxford Dictionary or any other dictionary that you find the word success easily being defined. Otherwise, it takes brains, energy, time, organization, and more so, I repeat, a strategy. Even your own strategy requires a strategy to achieve. I have met millions of people, and with a lot of humility, I'm one person who have spoken to millions of people in my 29 years career. There are those people who are very good at talking. There are those people who say everything. They keep talking, oh, I know this, but they don't do it. These are the people that you should never even associate yourself with. These are the dream assassinators. They are the dream assassins. They are the dream killers. And I've told you on many occasions, don't tell people what it is that you're doing. Let the results speak on your behalf. When I went to the university to pursue my PhD, my doctorate, I just invited people for the for the party. Just a few people knew, like my immediate bosses knew, my family members knew, and a few of my friends. But I never made it. I never made what we call an announcement or an advertisement in any of the media houses. There's nothing that makes me, of course, feel that I need to share with you this information. And why do I get so motivated to find time? Of course, doctors or professors are very busy marking exams, compiling results, and of course, taking the results to the relevant departments and faculties. But I still find time to share with you a few things because I treasure you people. And I know out of my discussions with you, many people have benefited from my talks, and some people have given me testimonies that motivate me. There are those people who just consume information and they keep quiet. You must remember to give feedback to the information that you get. How will I know that you have benefited from information if you don't give me feedback? I teach communications, and one of the communication, the university communication skills, and one of the key things that makes us people appreciate that the information has been properly consumed is by giving us the feedback. However, notwithstanding, nevertheless, I'm here to share with you this information. Many are they who have worked for 5 years or even 10 years, and they have come up with a slogan or a mantra that in the fullness of time I'll achieve ABCD. And I have told you it is easier said than done. When I purposed to open this company called Panorama Consulting Company, I looked for space, paid for rent, and I'm now operating from my own office. So there's a difference between good intentions and action. And what differentiates between achievers and those people who talk more is actually actions. And that's why we say actions speak louder than words. If you want me to speak the American accent, actions speak louder than words. So we are going to look at a few things that are going to disturb you wherever you are. Simon Kenyajui, I can see that you're tuned. Sade Peter, as usual, you're tuned. Joseph Kariuki, I salute you. Or David Wabogo, I can see that you're watching me. Wajohi Kamunya, I know you're watching me, my good friend from time. Dixon Kenyua, my architect, I think you're my architect, you're watching. Josephat Jones, Didi Moshemi, thank you very much for watching. Now, you see, there are those people whom I was born and brought up with. Today, they are jealous of who Kibicho is. As a matter of fact, they don't even come close to me because they suffer from what we call inferiority complex. And those people who suffer from what we call inferiority complex, they are the ones who go saying bad things about you. But I've told you on many, many occasions, don't spend time on what people talk about you. Because, number one, if people talk about you, there is something of value in you. And be happy. Tell God thank you. Because when people are talking about you, it is because there's something good about you. People who have no content and substance, they can't form the subject of discussion. People who form the subject of discussion, basically, are those people who have made it in life. You'll never hear people discussing about a madman. You'll never hear people discuss about a failure. People discuss people who have succeeded. So when I hear people are spending substantial amount of time about Dr. Kebicho or Professor Kebicho for that matter, I thank God that I go on. They become my motivation to do more so that they can have more content. And as they discuss and they spend their precious time discussing about Paul Kebicho, that's when I'm trying now to transform my life and take a transformation route. Those people who knew me 20 years ago, they are still using the old map for Kebicho. They are still using the old atlas for Kevision. You cannot use an old atlas or an old map to trace a city that has been built. Personally, I have revolutionized my life, and my life is different from those people who knew me 10, 20, 15 years ago. I'm no longer the Kebicho they knew. That's an old map, which you cannot use today in Nairobi to locate a building in Nairobi. If you left Nairobi in the year 1978, you need to upgrade your map, my brother, my sister. That is Kebicho's life. So I'm going to share with you a few things. And those people who think they are doing so well, you are doing so well in relationship to what? There must be some comparison structures. Those people who live in Nyeri, for instance, or those people who live in Nanyuki, who have put up a two-storied building, by the standards of maybe Nairobi, Nanyuki, they think they are doing plenty of work. Come to Nairobi, you find where real men are. And then for real men, Nairobi, to know that they are real men, they have to go to Dubai. And they see the skyscrapers, 127 stories, 130 stories. And if they need now to know even more about buildings, they go to what we call Chicago, or they go to what we call New York, and they see the buildings of men, and they get mesmerized by the architectural prowess of men and women in the universe. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about discipline. When I formed this other company, so I have what we call the company I formed, which is called Panorama Consulting Company. I have got Panorama College. I have Panorama Executive Barbershop. And now I have the newest kid in the block, which is called Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited. And I salute all those people once again who took, let me tell you, there come a time in life when you have to hold the bull by the horn. You are used to swimming in the shallow waters of the Indian Ocean, where water goes to your knees and you think that you're a good swimmer. You are used to jumping a 1 meter high jump. You are used to, I have been telling people in the lab that you can be a giant within dwarves. So this is the high time that now you sit down and take a very serious self-assessment to know whether you're doing well or not. When I'm in the university and I'm marking exams for my students, I teach them first. I take some few hours to take them through a given topic. If it is company law, if it is business law and taxation, if it is what we call startup sales and negotiations, if it's about what we call succession. So I take them through. And in order for me to understand whether they were able to digest and get whatever it was that I was teaching them, I normally administer an exam to them. So the purpose of this exam that gets administered to you, Mr. Kimani Joroge, is basically to help you to know whether you are familiar with what we call the content that was given by the lecturer. So, what do I mean by this? I'm going to talk about discipline for a few minutes. There are those people who started paying money at Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited when we began last month on 9th November. We'll be 1 month old tomorrow. And I'm telling you, the results has been spectacular. Awesome. I'm mesmerized. I'm so ecstatic. I'm overjoyed. Because I came up with an idea and people embraced. There are those people who are called fence sitters. People like sitting on the fence waiting to see what will happen to other people because they are risk averse. So I want to talk about discipline. So in order for you to get better things, one of the things that you must do, accept the pains and discomforts of bodily exercises to gain health and fitness. If you want, like now, I have shed 25 kgs within a span of a number of few years. I was weighing 100 kgs. Today, I'm weighing 78. I think I'm weighing 78 thereabouts. The last time that I took my weight. Dropping 28 kgs or 25 kgs is not a walk in the park. I purposed. I went through pain and discomfort. Waking up early at 5 and running and walking 25 kilometers, whether it was raining, whether it is raining or not. Even today, I covered my 25 kilometers. When some of us people, we are busy enjoying the comfort and the warmth of the bed, I was busy exercising. And you want us to be at the same weight? and you want us to share or to enjoy the same BMI, you are mistaken and you are actually in the dreamland. You need to come out of the slumberland to face the reality. You do not reduce weight by remaining in the comfort of your bed. You wake up early in the morning and you get rained on. You feel cold, but you exercise because you know what it is that you want. So for those people who want to succeed, even for those people who want to observe and maintain good looks, if you think I'm looking well, you have my page there. You can drop a text, or maybe you can even go to my wall and drop something. I don't use what we call gray. I don't dye my hair, and I'm not going to dye my hair soon. I know the secret. You must balance your life. And that is why I wrote this book. And that is why I took trouble to write this book. After the 60th day, Quality Work Life Manual. How do I balance my life? I must balance my life. I have a wife and children. I also need my own time. And I'll tell you this because I'll be giving you this point. You must be prepared to go through pain. If you avoid pain like some of you people do, you never succeed. I told people to pay 5,000 shillings registration fee, which is non-refundable. For those people who are mean and miser, they thought by paying 5,000 shillings, they are going to make number one, Kibisho a billionaire, and number two, they are going to become more poorer. My friend, I spent millions of shillings to have the degrees that you see here on my wall. And I'm proud of them, and have displayed, not all of them because I've graduated 11 times. But I'm proud of my certificates, and I'm proud of the content that I'm sharing with you right now. I paid a price. Even Jesus Christ paid a price for you. If you are to see the kingdom of God, if you are to go to heaven, it is not, again, a walk in the park. You must pay a price. And paying a price means you live doing those bad things that God has talked about in the Bible. So accept the pains and discomforts of bodily exercises to gain health and fitness. Number two, accept the pains and discomfort of hard work in pursuit of benefits and profits. So I have told many of you who normally follow me on my YouTube channel, Dr. Paul Kibicho PhD YouTube channel, or for those people who follow me on my Facebook page, which I'm live at even now as we speak, that in order for you to get benefits and profits, you must work hard and you must do everything it takes in order for you to get money, to be able to move to the next level. Number three, you must accept the discomfort of sacrificing leisure time to work. It is good to go for leisure. Even me, I'll take a bit of time, maybe towards the end of this year, because I've got people coming from the diaspora. I've got people coming from USA, some of them coming from Connecticut, others coming from Miami, others coming from Indiana, others coming from Seattle, Washington, others coming from Missouri. They're coming, and because I told them I'll be here for them, I'll wait for them, including those Kenyans who want to see me. But of course, I'll spare some more time to put off my phone and relax for 5 days, because even factories, they close down for maintenance. And I've given people this idea, and they laugh, that even factories, tea factories, even coffee factories, they sometimes chat and they go for what we call maintenance, but they don't issue a circular to farmers to uproot their tea bushes or their coffee bushes. No. So even your own body requires time for invigoration and for rejuvenation. I remember I know one of my YouTube videos here is on what we call the 7 principles of an eagle. Mr. Ken Mereti, I salute you. You have been my friend for quite a long time. So you must accept the pains and discomfort of hard work in pursuit of benefits and profits. The other one is that you must accept leisure time to work. That's why I have written this book, After the 60th Day, Quality Work Life Manual. But how many of you have read this? Our interests, most of the times you spend time, whom do you think will become the president? So after he becomes the president, what will he do to you, or what will she do to you? You still have to work hard to put food on the table. Personally, my prayer to my God is that we may get a president who will create an enabling environment for me to do what I'm doing at the moment, that we may have peace and tranquility, nothing else. We have had presidents from our tribe. I've been asking people, how much have they helped me with all my academic qualifications? Nothing. My children are cool because I use my brains, not because His Excellency the President is my president. No. His Excellency Mwai Kibaki was my neighbor. My father came from Mudaya Kairote. President Mwai Kibaki came from a place called Idiaine. Just the God there. We are neighbors. But The proximity did not make my things any better, but he created an environment conducive for me to do what I'm doing. So some of us people, we spend so much time discussing who has been divorced, who has married. That is not, personally, I don't have time for that. So you should also know that you must have time that you have planned to work to be able to generate income. And where people exert energy and brains, they make money and they make wealth. So are you part of that? The other thing is that you must accept the pains and the discomfort of fasting in order to gain health, mind power, and other bodily efficiencies. So this is what we call this element of pain. The other thing, number 5, accept the pain of having to suspend luxuries to save money for better financial gains. How many people now are driving towards the southern bypass or eastern bypass, and they're driving not because they are fire engines, not because there are ambulances, but they are landing as if beer is going to get finished. To just go and take beer, I have no problem, but you must balance. And I've told you on many occasions, because I've been doing a lot of research, I've seen people, I don't know where this rush is for. I've seen people who do not take a bit of time to reflect on the journey they have walked financially, in the journey they have walked in terms of their health. You continually take nyamashoma, you continually take sugar, you take those sweet things all the time, and in the fullness of time, you find yourself suffering from diabetes, and you start accusing your maker. Some problems we create them. The doctors are telling us exercise. How many times do you exercise? It is not sexercise, it is exercise. Underline that. Where you exert energy, where you burn calories. But some of us people, we continually do things opposite of what has been the instructions from the people who matter. Like now, I'm telling people, let's put money at Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited. Register with 5,000, be paying 16,000 shillings the minimum. Then you can even pay as much as you can. And in the final analysis, when we start paying the dividends after 3 years, your returns will be purely based on what you have contributed. But people don't want to hear that. But I salute those people. I want to salute you, Mr. Kemani Jologa, wherever you are, and those people who have already subscribed. And I told you yesterday that these are more certificates that I'm issuing to my clients. Those people who have taken seriously what I'm saying, and I thank God for that. I'm not searching for everybody. For even the Bible says, many are called, but few are chosen. Me, I'm for the chosen few. Those people who are able to sacrifice, people who can be able to suspend luxuries to save money. And I don't like using the word save, to invest money for better financial gains. And I've been telling you why you need to save your money, why you need to invest your money, because the energy levels continually dwindle with time. And therefore, there should come a time when money should work for you. You were not born to run forever looking for money. You should avoid what we call the rat race. You must start solidifying your financial base now. And I told you, as teaching time saves 9. And Rome was not built in a day. KICC was not built in a day. This building, Amin, was not built in a day. I never became a doctor in a day. I never became a lawyer in a day. I never became a lawyer in a day. I never became a father in a day. It was a process. Success is not an event. It's a process. But in that particular process, you must pay something called a price. There's a price to be paid. And I've told you that some of us people, we avoid pain in every direction. It's up to you. Number 6, you must accept the pains of discomforts of losing friends in order to gain better and more productive friendship. When I went back to the university to do law, which took me 4 years at Mount Kenya University, of course I lost some friends, but I thank God those were supposed, it was meant to be so. Such is life. You must sometimes gain, sometimes lose. And I'm telling you, those people that I lost, maybe they were not adding value to me, and I thank God for that. There is a reason for everything. Those people that I was having as my friends before I went back for law degree. And incidentally, when I went back to school, I found people who think like me, like-minded people. People who even made me to become sharper. It takes a nylon to sharpen an iron. So if you want to become sharper, associate yourself with people of good quality and people of substance and content. Who are your friends? Show me your friend that I can tell you the kind of a character that you are. Some of us people, we just like associating ourselves with individuals by virtue of the endowment. And some of those endowments are inheritance. And anybody who knows what I'm talking about, those people who actually get wealthy through inheritance, they don't make it in life. As a matter of fact, these are the people who normally sell the assets that were bequeathed by their parents, and they become poor, and they become rehab patience. Why? Because they never paid the price. I'm not saying it's bad for me to bequeath my wealth to my children, but of course I need them to appreciate that they have to go through pain also to gain. That's why they're also in the university studying and in another force of learning. The other thing that you must do, accept the pains and discomforts of ridicules. This is a very important point that I want now to dwell on before I call it a day. Accept the pains and the discomforts of ridicules and criticisms in order to champion a cause of investing something. Where do you seek your counsel from? And this has been my major question. And I have given people a very simple illustration that if you are a lady who is due for delivery, you cannot go asking a Catholic sister how the process is in the labor ward. As a matter of fact, if I find you asking for counsel from those kind of individuals, automatically I know you're a psych case. Because how do you go asking somebody who has no experience? How do you go asking somebody who has never been to university how university life is? How do you go asking somebody how Mombasa is and he has never been to Mombasa or she has never been to Mombasa? What do you expect from that particular individual? Confused guidance. So are you there? And I've been talking about even what we call confusion of abundance and something we refer to as confusion of ideas. Some of us people, we don't value knowledge. And especially here in Kenya, I would say this without fear, and I'll say it in broad daylight, that some of us people in Kenya, including some senior people in our government, they don't value education. And that is the biggest problem. And you can even see the members of parliament, and if people buy the idea, personally, I can't buy that kind of rubbish, that leadership comes from God. Oh my goodness. Go and tell to the mountains that, but not to Dr. Paul Kebicho. No way. You cannot tell me, Mr. Ken Mereti, I know how educated you are, that you have risen to those positions because leadership was given to you by God. No, it requires what we call some modification. And modification comes through being taken through a certain channel, where ideas are properly harnessed and directed. And that is why you can see that how do I tell my daughters that they can become great men and women in Kenya when they see their dad with all the degrees that he has, still doing whatever he has been doing over the years. In some jurisdictions of the world, when you clear your PhD, you are scouted as you pursue that particular PhD. Insurance companies come looking for you. Engineering companies come looking for you. Pharmaceutical companies come looking for you, but not in Kenya, unfortunately. That's the most unfortunate thing. Those children pursuing their degree courses in UK, they have jobs. They're even earning a salary, but not in Kenya. Why? Because we have got some egocentric, self-centered leaders who don't think about others. And for you to get a job, you must be well known, and your father must have held a certain position in this Republic of Kenya. Either he was a paramount chief, either he was an assistant minister during Moi's era or senior Kenyatta's era, or he must have been known by some individuals. But not waking up in the morning and you hear Dr. Paul Kebicho, who was born and brought up in a forest, despite his academic accolades. It takes the heart of God. But I thank God, because God is not a respecter of personalities. So one of the things that we must do in our lives is that we must accept the pains and the discomforts of ridicules and criticisms in order to champion a cause, so that we can invest something for our lives. So, for instance, now as I speak to all of you, I have told you the kind of books that I've been reading. And when somebody wants to come to my office for consultation, who was busy out there making money, and he wants me to fix his problem, he wants to do it on pro bono basis, I refuse. I refuse it in Jesus' mighty name. I will refuse. Say Kebisho is proud, that is your problem. And that is me. And I have no apologies to make. It has taken me 22 years to be the person who is talking to you today. I have paid school fees. I paid more than 1.8 million shillings at Jomo Kenyatta University. I paid more than 2 million shillings at Kenya Methodist University for masters and bachelors. I paid more than 1 million shillings at MKU. I paid money in Nairobi University. I paid money at PCA University. I have paid money in various colleges for me to be the person I am. So if you want me to solve your problem, there is a price to be paid. But unfortunately, many Kenyans don't love paying that place. As a matter of fact, some people argue, have succeeded. Why do I require Kibicho? It's up to you. Success is relative. What you think is success may be what we call mediocrity in some quarters and jurisdictions. So are you there and you're interested in knowing quite a number of things about our investments? I have taken you through what we call discipline. We are talking of our children in high schools being completely indisciplined, but we need to ask ourselves, as we must now have a time to retrospect, to look at ourselves now, to look at ourselves. We stop looking at others now and we look at us. How much time are we spending with our sons and daughters to counsel them? We have left upbringing or parenting to the house managers. Some of us, we leave our homes at 4 a.m. and we go back home at 11 p.m. Children have slept. We don't even know what they ate. We don't even know whether they did their homework. And the person we expect to check their assignments was, sorry to say with a lot of humility, is a standard 8 dropout. It's a form 2 dropout. He never, so what do you expect? We don't even administer discipline. We are living in the era of kababa kamama, wasting our children, and then we start blaming the government. The government will not do everything for us. The government has a certain portion of its responsibility, but the biggest portion of responsibility comes from you. It is unfortunate that some of us people have told you on many, many occasions, we expect things to happen, but miracles don't just happen. There is a role that you should pray. And as I conclude this discussion with you about discipline, I have told you point number 1, accept the pains and discomforts of bodily exercises to gain health and fitness. You must first of all feel pain. Once you start exercising, Mr. Joseph Kariuki Dairo, you must feel some pain. Madam Grace Duta, you must feel some pain. Mr. Ajohi Kamunya, you must first of all feel some pain. When you go to the gym and you start lifting, when you start running, those are some of the things that you experience. But then you know why you're doing it. You're not just doing it for pleasure or for leisure. You're doing it with what we call an objective in mind. Accept the pains and discomforts of hard work. Hard work involves what we call mental focus, mental concentration. It involves use of energy. I spend a lot of time doing a lot of things, my brothers and sisters out there. I spent, like now, if I tell you what I have done, I have read books, I was able to meet some investors, I was able even to talk to some people in diaspora. I have spent more than 2 hours talking to people in Vietnam, in Jordan, in Qatar, in Bahrain, and in Dubai. And here I am. How are you accountable to your time? I'll be talking about time valuation. I've talked about time valuation. And I've told you there's some people who don't rest. If you want to know somebody respects you, give him or her an appointment to come at 9. If he comes at 11, he has no respect for you at all. As a matter of fact, he sees you as a failure by his own definition. Time management. And yesterday, I was sharing this information with a certain professor in the university. And I told him I'm so disappointed with us scholars. Because when you talk about a balance sheet, when an employee enters into the office at 8 and leaves at 5 on the dot, how was that time spent? Some of us, we enter into the office, we go to the washroom, we spend 20 minutes in the washroom. Immediately we come in the washroom, we start discussing with our colleagues in the office. Another 30 minutes on our WhatsApp. Another 30 minutes on our Facebook page. Another 30 minutes on our Instagram. Another 30 minutes on doing other things that are not mentioned here. Were you productive in that office? What could have happened if that time was properly spent by this employee so efficiently and effectively? Don't you think it could have reflected on what you call the balance sheet? Time valuation is key. As I conclude, allow me to talk about this newest kid on the block, Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited. I'll be giving you now a very comprehensive findings of people who once worked but they retired miserably. I hope you'll not become part of the statistic. Please avoid becoming part of the statistics. There are those people who could not imagine that organizations could close. There are those people who could not have imagined the entire hospitality industry being closed. There are those people who could not have imagined even their churches closing. And for those pastors who were rigid in approach to life, who could not know how to learn their services online, they had a hard time. There are those people who thought because they had private schools, they were settled. Even private schools, they were distorted. Churches were distorted. Schools, everything. So what have you done? What are you doing right now to add value to your life financially? And I sat down after doing a very serious research, And I came up with an investment club for people who think like me or for people who treasure expertise. I'm a financial expert, doubt at your own peril. And I said, why don't I come with what a company called Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited, where members are joining, and it is not for everybody. I repeat, once we hit the 200 members, the doors will be shut. So the question is, will you be shut out, or will you be part and parcel of this investment club? So you just drop us your email address, either on any of these email addresses. You can drop your email address at questpinnacleinvestment@gmail.com. Note that questpinnacleinvestment@gmail.com. Not investments, but questpinnacleinvestment@gmail.com. Send us your email address. We'll be able to send you what we call the membership application form. You can also send to my email address, my personal email address, paulkebicho@gmail.com. paulkebicho@gmail.com. All again, you can send me a text on my personal number. On my personal number here, you can just send your text on my mobile phone here. 0722 633 021. 0722 633 021. Either a WhatsApp or a message. Just send me your email address. I send you the membership application form, and we start moving. Otherwise, whoever is listening to me today, you were once a child. And the Bible says, when I was a child, I thought like a child. I was thinking like a child. But now we have come of age. Go to your neighborhood. Go to where you come from. Don't call yourself a Nairobian. We all have where we came from. We have our graduates. If you come from Muranga, go to Kanyinya, go to Mogoro, go to a place called Getweka, go to Idaga, go to all those, you can even go to a place like Kereine, go to Ahodora. I know all those places. Go and look at those people who retired without planning, financial planning. Learn a lesson from them. Go, if you come from near like me, go to a place like Kireti, go to Uoine, go to Gatobero, go to Amagana, go to Ihide, go to Ovoine, go to Jigari, go to Kehome, go to Monyange, go to Gaturuturu, go to Kairia, go to a place called Kiagada, go to Etima, go to Yadenge and see the kind of people who live there. If you come from Meru, go to Govo, go to a place called Mariene, go to Kariene, go to Gekumene, go to Mladhankari, go to Medemoiro, go to Kaga, go to Kaide, go to Kiajai, go to Mekidori, go to Entovoshio, go to Murugenet, go to Burorei, go to Mutuati, and see the people there, for those who know what I'm talking about. If you come, go to Mairoinya, go to Mongedo, go to Shamata, go to Wakongo and see, but with your own two eyes. So we need to plan. So come on board with your money. You'll be paying 16,000 shillings as your monthly subscription, but that's the bare minimum. You can even pay 1 million or 5 million shillings. We have the capacity to manage that. More information will be provided on the application form. So I want to thank all of you who have been my ardent followers on my YouTube channel and Facebook Live. Always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for those people who have joined us today. I have several of them who have joined us today, and I look forward to continuing giving you more communication. May God bless you. I wish you a very good night. Simon Kenyajui, thank you very much. Joseph Karaoke, I'll be talking to you. You can drop me an email. I've given maybe a WhatsApp message. I've given you my WhatsApp number, 0722 633 021. And for those desirous of paying me a visit, I'm domiciled along Outer Ring Road, after Osops, on your way to Babadogo, between Ora Petrol Station and Naivas Supermarket, Top Blast House, first floor. For more information, please come over. Let's discuss. And with those few remarks, may God bless you. Always a pleasure talking to you. May God bless all of you. Talk to me. Let's discuss. I thank God for those who have joined education policies. Thank you very much. Those from Dubai who joined the education policy today, I salute you. Thank you because you took my advice seriously. It is your responsibility to educate your child, and don't expect to get money from her or him. For those who want to retire honorably, pension scheme is there for you. For those people who want to protect their wealth, I'm there. Talk to me. I'm an expert, and may God bless you. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a wonderful night. For those who are in the same GMT with us, and for those who are on different GMT, we wish you the very best in your endeavors. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Anthony Kiabati, Thank you so much. And those others who have been watching me from various quarters, I salute you and I thank God for you. Shalom, shalom, shalom.